Yo, what's up? What's up? We are back again. Just wanted to do a quick recap of today's trading day and then kind of update you guys on some of my life changing slash shifting progress. So let's look into this. Some trades that I took today, I made money off of swing trades. And so a swing trade is where you buy a stock, and I'm in options trading, right? You buy a stock one day and then you sell it the next day, or you can sell it the next, couple days. You can sell it within the next week, right? So the ones that I made profit on and pretty big profit on are today were Reddit and Carvana. Shout out to Reddit and Carvana, and I'll get into it here in a second. I'll get into what I looked for and how we found these. So if we look at these, um, when I pick a stock, so usually I get a call out. So I got this call out from Reddit and Carvana via Teach Trade with Kia Keely. If you want the link or the information, send me a message in a chat and I'll get it to you. But we bought here and we sold here. But let's go to when I'm looking at getting into a position, I look at it on the larger time frame so I can see what I'm getting into, right? And this will make more sense to you here. Here, I bought right here because I noticed on the 4 hour time frame, this stock was still going lower. We had a 2-1-2 bullish reversal. And so since we trade the strat, once I noticed this two go here, I realized in that one kind of went outside candle, I realized that we were getting a lot of selling pressure. So if I look at the daily time frame, it was even worse. So this was yesterday, this is Thursday, and Reddit kept dipping, and it was dipping something pretty major. And so I was like, hey, it's showing a 2-2-2 uh, to the downside. Why not get in here, try to catch some of this money, see if we can make some money tomorrow when the markets open up, if it's still dipping that way. And so this morning, based off of this trade, I was able to make uh, 800 bucks roughly off of Reddit, dipping from here to here, bought here, sold here. And then if we're going to go and we're going to talk about Carvana, it was a very, very similar play. I got these plays from Teach Trade, but you can also find these plays yourself. That's the cool part about getting a trading game. So, like I told you, it was reversing to the downside. I was seeing it. And actually, the interesting part about Carvana is it actually triggered one of my alerts that I had set here on TradeView. So, I ended up buying here midday yesterday. And I ended up selling this morning when it dipped real low. And I'll show you where I got out on this trade. Go to the 10-minute time frame. When I'm doing swing trades, I typically look at the 10-minute time frame. The cool part about swing trades, and this is kind of why I did this today, was with swing trades, you can continue to watch those and check those out like over a day. So you don't have to be, sucked to a screen all day, right? You can go to work, have some swing trades. Actually got Carvana because I noticed it was dipping. I believe Carvana and Reddit, I actually got them a week or two out from expiration. So that way I didn't get choked out of the game and then end up with a loss because I didn't give it enough time to marinate and to make the moves we thought it was going to make. So here we see this major gap down. So I bought in here yesterday and I sold here. So the cool part is this range. This range hit a key resistance level. And I was like, you know what? Since we already dipped and we gapped down overnight, I might as well take profit here and play it smooth. Because early in the week when we talked about our trades, getting in, getting out, and not, staying in there because we think it's gonna go somewhere else. When you in profit, you in profit. And then Carvana ended up being a $600 trade, right? So that was huge. So yeah, it went to this key resistance level. Looked like it was about to bounce, but I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna get greedy. It already got down overnight, and it had already melted through one of my key levels, and then I decided to get out. One of the coolest parts is I'm also in a Carvana put for swing over the weekend. So my contract expires. So I made money off of Carvana earlier. Then I got back in because I saw that the trend was still moving in the same direction. With a lot of these tariffs and everything that's going on, it's one of those conversations where people don't know where used cars are going to go because they could take it up and charge an extreme premium on the used cars and then not make a lot of money. Carvana had also in the past had news and historical data that they had, sold some people some lemons or some cars that had been repoed, et cetera, et cetera. So, I was like, okay, well, typically if we look at this larger time frame, right? So when I chose this next put that I'm in for this week, I went to the 2-week time frame. So if we're looking at the 2-week time frame, move these out of the way. If we're looking at the 2-week time frame, it's on one of those situations where it's still on its way down. Currently, Carvana is at 162.61, right? So it was still reversing. So I decided, hey, let's look at the weekly time frame, see what it's doing as well. That's still an outside candle, and that's a large candle, outside candle to the downside. That's a 3 bearish reverse strat reversal, right? So 3, 2, 3, that's a major candle. And because it tapped this candle today, I was like, it's probably going to go even further because the next resistance level, so it technically broke this resistance level, but because it's just that little wick, there wasn't a whole lot of strong selling past that point. There was a little bit of weak selling, so it bounced and went back up. And the body of the candle, most of the people are still on the sell side, right? So if we go down here and had this candle, I looked at the next weekly time frame of where it had to get to. So I'm betting that it's probably going to hit 142. Or what is this? 144 next week, because that's another key resistance level. Now it could reverse, right? But that's why we set our stop losses. So that way, if it does reverse, we still good to go. And technically, my strike price is set at 150. So if it hits that 150, I set that shows the 150 strike price. So that way it's in between. So that way it doesn't have to go all the way for me to make money. And technically it doesn't have to go very far anyway, because I'm already in the money right now. And it's only at 162, right? But I have a 150 put on it. And so I'm already in the money. Or not already in the money, but I'm already making money on it. I'm already up 10% ahead for next week. And aftermarket really didn't change a whole lot. It's at 162.67. So that's only like a 10 cent upside, which it means very, very little when it comes to this candle right here. So bang, if I'm moving down here, my next candle that I'm looking to hit, and that could be a pretty decent profit right there. So we could be potentially be doing a rinse and repeat, right? Or it could reverse on the upside, right? But at the same time, if we're looking at this trend of where these things have been going, because price has memory, and so we want to remember that. But stay in the loop, keep tapping in. If you want to learn about resistance levels, let me know in the comments little things that you want to learn about and things that pique your interest, so I can put you on game as well. But this has been another great after action review. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Look out coming soon. I recently registered for my national my NASM for to become a personal trainer, as well as I'll be signing up for bartending school as well. And so we got a lot of great entrepreneurial things going out, and so it's going to be a great year and a great next great career, right? When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Stay in there, tap in, keep learning, keep growing. I appreciate y'all. Tap in with us on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Uncle Millennial out. Thank you.